welcome to this week's episode of Pit Against a Live Function Call Show. I'm William Table, like my co-host Kevin Smurph. Kevin, what's up? Pit Against is a live call-in show. If you'd like to be live on air talking to us about your take, join the Pit Against Discord by clicking on the link that's in the description. Then join the waiting room channel. Put your hot take in the topics text channel, and we will, if we like your take, we'll pull you on for a mic check and then pull you on air. What was the first thing I was going to bring up? Frick. Oh, spoilers. I was going to talk about spoilers. Spoilers. Things that we've had more spoilers. We already had spoilers part 1. How about spoilers part 2? Do you want to just dive straight into it? Is there anything else you want to talk? You haven't done anything lately, like other than
I played Chicago, but that's
yeah, you played
it.
Is that since last episode?
Yeah.
Oh, how was Chicago?
I flew to Chicago the next morning.
Oh, that's right. How was Chicago?
It was fine.
So long ago for me.
I went like 8 and 9 in LL overall.
That's not
which is
bad.
It's fine.
It's fine.
I'm okay with it on a deck that I have now a total of like 20 games on.
Wait, what'd you play?
I played New Prism.
Oh, okay. Oh, New LL Prism.
New Prism in LL.
That is technically a different deck than CC Prism. Yes,
it is. It's so different.
Oh,
it is completely different.
Is it Aura?
Because you get to play Old Luminaris, so like,
yeah,
all of your yellow auras are good now.
Okay.
Nah. Nah. What? Nah.
Yeah.
No, that was fun. I think Starvo might be a little overtuned. I would be willing to call him a tier 0.5 deck.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not surprised they didn't ban anything or restrict anything from him, though. It's fine. He's Starvo, and there's no event until after Hunted release for LL. So
he should be a strong / huge part of the thing. You got a lot of static going on.
All right, hang on.
Like
that might be my laptop fan.
That is your laptop fan then.
Worry.
Yeah, it's
I'll
going.
See if I can.
So what was I gonna say? The calling was awesome to watch, along with the Battle Hardened. All of it was super cool.
You didn't get to watch the Battle Hardened.
I heard about the Battle Hardened.
Because you would have seen me start 3-0 and then go to 3-3.
Well,
when I was on double winning in.
That's normally the like William classic is go 3-0-0-3.
Hey, that got you a top 8 at PQ last time you did that.
It did. I also missed a winning in I think 2 other events, smaller PQ level events, doing the same thing. Oh my gosh. Chat's blowing up. Jonathan Bowers is here. What's up, John? Oh, hello there.
Yeah. So while I was at Chicago, it was Friday or Saturday. I think it was Saturday. We got Arachne Marionette.
Yes.
While we were at the event.
Yes. That was insane.
And I just kind of like looked at it. I'm like, what the fuck is happening here?
Yeah, it's so crazy. One, I think
There's
the ability.
So much.
Yeah, one, the like base ability of how it interacts with Marked looks super good. And then
attack with stealth against a marked hero, have +1 and on hit go again, which is
very good.
All of them on a turn, except when you hit, it gets go again, and when you hit, mark is consumed.
Yeah. Unless you
mark is not deal damage; it is hit. Yes.
It's when they.
It is specifically hit. So then, like all of the dagger throwing stuff also consumes marked, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think so. If you throw a dagger, actually, this just occurred to me. If you throw a dagger in reactions at a marked hero and it counts as hitting, your attack loses on hit go again and +1.
That's funny. That's actually really funny.
So okay,
that's a play pattern you're gonna have to know.
I'm still processing
there's a lot. There's
everything that this hero does.
So much this hero does.
On top of at the beginning of your end phase, if an opponent is marked, you become a random agent of chaos. And an agent of chaos is one of the 6 extra arachnes that we saw. So Black Widow, Funnel Web, Redback, and Tarantula are the 4 we have at this moment.
But we're gonna get into all of that in a minute.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the other expansion slot spoilers that happened.
Sure.
They spoiled that in Mastery Pack. We're gonna get Japanese Ram's Head, cool.
Oh yeah, non-foil.
What is it called? I specifically asked Bluesky what it's called when you have the big art cards. It's not extended art, but the big art cards for unmovable.
Oh, the micro text box.
Micro text boss.
That unmovable
I
looks
don't like
good.
that name. That unmovable looks awesome, and I like unmovable as a card. Trimmer Shield. Let me lean forward. Trimmer Shield Sabatons.
I don't know if that's how it's pronounced, but I don't know a better way. Sabatons,
That sounds like
Sabatons, something.
Sabatons sounds like
It's
the
guardian
name of
legs
like
that
a
are majestic.
it sounds like the name of like a robot in like a anime that's been translated to English from the 90s, where it's like
Yeah.
rollouts or hecking
Sabatons
go
roll out.
Sabatons. Oh, hey Gordon.
Hi, Gordon.
So these are super interesting.
They're fine.
Blade Break 1, instant destroy this, prevent the next one, arcane damage that would be dealt to you. If you control a seismic surge, prevent the next 2. I thought about this.
If you've controlled a seismic surge token this turn.
Oh, that's actually even better.
So it is not just if you have one currently, it can also be if one broke this turn.
That's great, actually. Now,
which
I will
is a
say
nice little flex.
a downside to this and the quiver that I thought about while I was reading it is it's instant destroy this, do a thing.
It's not spell void.
It's
It
not
is an
spell
instant
void.
they can respond to. It is an instant they can let resolve and then interact with.
Wildfire, break this in response. Second wildfire.
In response to you breaking this
Yeah.
second wildfire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, wizard shenanigans.
Or like let this resolve, waning moon you,
It's
then wildfire
fine.
resolves. Then
I think you still
it's
in most Guardian
super.
decks, you just rather have Arcane Barrier 3, and that involves
I
taking up your
think
boots.
so. This is not where you would put your spell void, and it's not. It is unlikely to be worth a slot, an entire slot, when you would want to run AB1 there anyways, most likely.
I do like the
this
idea.
is where you put your AB1.
Yeah, I do like the idea, and I've talked about it before, where I thought that like whatever the Bravo replacement hero is, I thought it would be like whenever a Bravo inevitably LLs. I thought it was going to be a Seismic Surge Matters deck.
I
And
think they
were
want to
going
do
to
that.
take it. Well, they made Betsy, and I feel like Betsy is the Bravo replacement because she's the pay to give something evasion.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's fine.
It's fine. It's not
going in decks.
It's not going to do anything.
Maybe it's not fine. Maybe it's bad.
It is perfectly mediocre.
It is on the cusp of not playable.
And by that you mean the bottom side of that line.
Yeah. Like it's when we were running Iron Rock boots, this was the upgrade. But we're not. We're running.
This is strictly better Iron Rot. The problem is you're not running Iron Rot.
You're not running Iron Rot.
So yeah.
It might be interesting into like Rune Blades or something. You block one. No, it is Blade Break. Never mind. I have no idea. I guess it's
if it had Battle Worn, it's way more interesting.
If it had Battle Worn, it's way more interesting.
It is more interesting. I don't know about way more, but it is definitely more interesting if this is Battle Worn, and then you have the instant for 2. It's still a little bit awkward.
Like, I think if you're
you can control a Seismic Surge token on their turn still, so it can just be like 3 block against Rune Blades. If it was Battle Worn.
I mean, it's still like the only time I think to use it is in a hero that could threaten either of them, because you're not playing it for one side or the other.
Sure. I think you're still just on either Null Rune or Civic Steps because the offhands are strictly better.
Slots, but I don't think you are.
Like, you just run whatever shield you want, which Stalagmite or Victor Shield are both strictly better than having this and Arcane Lantern.
Yeah.
Because you still need AB1.
And you still need gold tokens.
Yeah, like you want the gold token, or you want Rampart, or you want Stalagmite in Jarl.
Actually, you don't want it. You just present only the weapon. Well, I guess if like it's Kano or Verdance, you just present the weapon, you don't present shield.
Sure.
Yeah.
But, like, you still need AB then, which means
Yes.
it goes
And it goes in the foot
in
slot.
your boot slot. So,
You know what Guardian would have been stupid with is a piece of equipment that says AB2. That would have been, I don't care where it is, that's probably
yes,
really good.
it would
Um
it would be really interesting if it was the shoes, actually. It would
Actually,
be
that would be
really interesting.
awesome. It would be great if it was in the shoes.
Man,
But
imagine if you just had, like, Battleborn 1 AB1
what if you had
and
Temper
instant speed when
Temper
you play an
2
instant.
AB2 in the chest slot? I mean, you don't want it in the chest slot for Guardian, but like pretty good.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it sounds pretty
Um,
good. Roomblade get all the stuff. Um,
quickly, chain reaction is not relevant at the moment. There aren't enough non-attack actions that you'd wanna play as instants for it to be good.
mhm.
It's only Plan for the Worst and 3 Oak.
Oh yeah, we're going over. Okay, I was like, you said quickly chain reaction, and I interpreted it as like
Oh,
you are continuing, like you
no,
are
the actual
chain
card.
reactioning, like your sentence or something.
No.
No, the
The
card
actual
chain
card, it's a
reaction.
trap, 3 block. It lets you flip a non-attack action face up and then play it as though it were an instant, and that's not relevant at the moment. This could be busted at some point. It could really be nuts.
You know
It's
what it?
not right now.
You know what it is though. It's a 2 pitch, which matters. That's sometimes Rangers 3 pitch, right?
Yellow pitch is fine.
Yellow pitch, 3 block, trap that interacts with
Sure.
go again, probably the most common of the 3
Sure.
interactable types. And
So it's just trying to be
on that basis alone, in
it's a 0 for
Riptide,
4 in Riptide?
it's a
Sure.
0 for 4 that pitches 2 in Riptide, and
This
that's
doesn't
pretty
move
okay.
Riptide.
No, it doesn't. It does
Yeah.
until we see a non-attack action revealed in the expansion
Yes.
slot when the set comes out and everyone freaks out. Until we see a
Sure.
great non-attack action with this
If
card.
there's a non-attack that this can hit, one, it has to hit well, it doesn't actually need to hit reliably in Riptide, because it can just be 4.
Yeah.
But, like, there's only Plan for the Worst as non-attacks that matter. Plan for the Worst is actually gross with this.
Is it?
Yes, because they don't know that they're getting Seek and Destroyed at the beginning of their turn or in blocks.
Oh, that's gross.
It's so
Well, it
it's
depends on the hero, but I mean, this is
but it's
yeah.
you play this trap, you
Mhm.
play the Plan for the Worst, you go get another trap and play it in instant speed on the same attack.
That's pretty good.
Like, it combos really well there. It
Yeah.
definitely does, and otherwise, it's just not gonna do anything for Riptide, and it's still
Is
probably not gonna do anything for Riptide.
is Riptide gonna be good enough to where he can be like Azalea in this format, where it's like good against the aggro decks and has other
I
bad
mean,
matchups, but
not as long as Rune Blades are some of the best aggro decks.
Runeblaze
He d
in
he
particular
doesn't
are
have
bad into
the
him?
no, in particular, they're good into him.
Good into him, that's what I mean to say.
Yeah, they're bad for him
Bad
because
for him,
he's
yeah.
very bad at blocking arcane damage because his cost curve is so low.
Okay.
Um,
He just doesn't have the
so it's
blues.
very inefficient for him to block arcane, and then Viscera is just like, "Okay,
Does it
I'll kill you."
matter if he just well, no, yeah, you're like he's got a lot of over 4 reds.
Yeah, he's not gonna
Hmm.
do he doesn't
I
get to
mean,
be super efficient against them.
could he just play a game plan where it's just full aggro, but it has disruption tacked onto it? Like he just ignores what they're doing and just tries to present his own damage slash
Viscera will block.
Viscera can block. Viscera is a
Vis
blocker.
They have Runeblades have fucking fridges now.
They've always had fridges.
No.
Well, it's felt like they've. Well, okay, so
So it felt like Chain did because he has Husk.
also Viscera had Skulletta.
He did.
That
And
was
then they took it away.
yeah, they took it away, and then they gave him
And then they gave them Carapace.
Carapace, which is
And they gave them Face Purgatory, which is pretty good against
Face
Riptide,
Purgatory.
who's like, "Yeah, I'll
Ooh.
send 10," and you're like, "Face Purgatory the trap out of your hand." That seems pretty
That's
good.
pretty good.
You also can't trap a non-attack.
I still have a working theory that oh, you can't trap a non-attack. They could also just do a turn where they
They
present
could just
that like
make 8 rune chance and
fake
chill.
damage. Yeah. They can make like 16 rune chance in a turn and then just pass.
Yeah, and then you have 2 traps in your hand, and you're like,
I can use one
"I'll
of these
send
to
8."
pitch and then arsenal the other one.
Yeah. Okay.
Feels bad.
Yeah, no,
Got a ways to
Riptide's
go,
not good. This
but
isn't moving. Um, Spurlocked.
oh, you don't want you skipping provoked?
Oh, that's
Oh,
not. That
where
is
are
in
we
a
going?
different section.
Sure.
Sure.
Okay. Okay. Spurlocked, and then also we had Rolling Fissure. We'll get to
Roiling
eventually.
Fissure. Sure.
Spurlocked is a card in the set
In the
in
expansion
in the
slot.
expansion slot.
In the expansion slot. Not
Important.
draftable.
Yeah. Okay. Blue, 0
Hmm.
cost, block
Hmm.
3, action,
Hmm.
chaos
Hmm.
action specifically. Um, each
Chaos
hero's
action,
chaos,
not generic.
not generic. Also not assassin. It's just chaos,
Yes,
which I
just
think is
chaos
cool.
talent.
Each hero secretly chooses a number between 1 and 6. Then these numbers are revealed. The hero that chose the highest number loses that much life. Searches their deck for a card with cost less than or equal to the chosen number. Oh, I didn't know that part. With cost less than or
It's
equal to the
irrelevant.
chosen number. It's probably irrelevant, but like it might
Yeah.
matter sometimes. Where you're like, I need this thing and it costs 3. I don't know. Puts it in their hand, then shuffles. And so it's a tutor at the cost of life in a minigame.
Yes. So my interpretation currently
Mm-hmm.
is, and I need the rules, the release notes on this card, just like so bad.
Yeah.
My interpretation currently, because it says the hero and not each hero,
Yes.
is that there has to be a singular hero that chooses the highest amount.
Kind of like how nobody wins a clash if
If it's a tie.
it's a tie.
Yes.
Okay.
Um, so like this honestly becomes a really interesting mini game because it's like if you really just want to search a card, you can pick 6 and then search whatever card if they don't pick 6. But if
Yeah.
the Josh Scott confirms it's tie if it's tie, nothing happens. Okay, cool.
Okay, cool. Perfect. Exactly
Excellent.
as our experts on Pit Against have determined.
I'm an L1. It's fine. Um, I've never judged an event. It's fine. Um, so like interesting stuff can really happen here where it's like I'm gonna just say the defending hero can be like, I really don't want you to search a card. I'm gonna choose 6, and then the other person's like, I'll choose 5. The person who plays is like, I'll choose 5. And then the defending hero loses 6,
So
but they get to tutor a card, so they probably take 3 for this,
yeah.
which is like 0 for 3, go again on your blue at a 3 block is pretty good.
Like
It is definitely a mini game. There's a reason it's chaos talented,
yes.
and I'm very glad it's chaos talented and not generic.
It's also like you say in that very specific scenario, the opponent, whatever class they may be playing, gets to tutor up a card. That might be completely irrelevant IP wanting themselves a card.
Yes,
It could also just
they may not be able to
turn their
use
string
that
into
card.
crazy. Yeah.
It
So
could also be a ninja who's like, "Yeah, give me that card.
yeah.
This is worth 6.
Yeah. This is worth huge.
This fetches me a chase the tail. Go away."
Chase the tail or salt
Yeah.
wound, whatever you need for the hand.
Let me fetch Sacred Art.
Oh my gosh. Let me fetch
Oh,
Arclight Sentinel.
you cannot choose Chi because it doesn't have a cost. You can choose all the Transcend cards.
Oh,
You
well,
cannot choose Inner Chi.
what else doesn't have a cost?
Any of the Fabled gems. So Kano
Does
cannot fetch I.
does Gorg Tome have a cost?
Yeah, 0
Okay.
because it's played.
It doesn't have a pitch, is what it doesn't
Yes.
have. Okay. That's
So yes,
interesting.
I could fetch Arclight Sentinel as Prism.
Yeah.
And I guarantee if I get Arclight Sentinel on a 6-card hand with Halo still up,
This is
you're
a cool
cooked.
action. Well, it has go again.
It has going. So it's not an instant
So what do
where you
you
can play it
do?
on the opponent's turn.
Just as Prism, you see this and you're like pay 6 every time. Well, given that you have 6 to play.
Depending on the situation,
Yeah.
it's pretty. I wouldn't be surprised if I was like 6 done.
Yeah. I mean, obviously you wait to hear what they say, but like,
Yeah.
how does that work?
As
Wait, what?
Guardian,
How does that work? Like, you write down a hidden number and then reveal it at the same time?
yeah, you would get a scrap of paper and
Okay,
then flip them both,
sure.
I assume.
Also, in low life totals, the lower life player might be put in a bad spot. That's my favorite part about this card.
Yep.
Is when it's not it's not a one it's not a it when it becomes a one-sided game where it's like
Yes.
I get to basically choose
Huge.
the number I want of life to pay. That's great.
Yeah,
That's when
no,
the
like
card is awesome.
the mini game here is really interesting.
Mhm.
Also, this is Ichiro
Mhm.
for UPF.
Oh. Oh. Oh, I should have thought of that.
This is not target opponent hero and you. This is just each hero.
I'm sorry, Brody. Looks like you didn't get the card. I got the card. That's awesome. Ichiro. Oh, that's so funny. Like in like weird, awkward, like you had 6 people play a UPF game, so you have a 6-person pod at your
You want to play this in your
store.
fucking Yorick game, your 75-person Yorick game?
Oh my gosh.
I
It's
mean,
not
it's just
legendary,
gonna be a.
right?
No, you can have 3 of these
Well, 2.
in a constructed deck. You can have
Yeah,
2 in a UPF deck,
yeah.
but like also in a Yorick game, like a 75-person Yorick game, there's gonna be at least 2 people who
Oh,
choose 6,
yeah.
and nothing's gonna happen.
So funny. Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but in UPF, this is interesting because then you also politic for it.
So the next card I want to talk about is
Yeah,
oh yeah, you could just politic about it. Like you can like not influence necessarily what people say, but you would say before we reveal our numbers
yeah,
or
yeah.
write them down, I just want everyone to
Before we
know
write our numbers
my
down.
intentions right here, and then you lie through your teeth to these
Oh
poor
yeah,
people. The next card I wanted to talk about is there's a mentor. That's cool. The next card I want to talk about is
the mentor has a lot of text for a card that just
it
blocks
blocks
4.
it blocks 4. It blocks 4.
That's what it's going to do a lot of.
Oh. It is cool though.
It's neat.
I think block
It's nice.
4
I like that it recycles. That's
block
something I
block 4
wanted out
puts
of
it in a lot more decks.
sure in a lot more Blitz
A lot
decks
more blitz
because
decks, yes.
mentors can only be played by young heroes. But
It's technically a majestic too, right? So you're not
so
seeing
it
it in
can't even go in
Clash.
commoner.
It can't go in Commoner.
Yeah.
Wait, can you run all the mentors in Clash? I might
Oh,
no.
maybe.
Yeah, you
I don't
can.
know.
That's right. I forgot about it.
Okay.
So 2 more cards I wanted to kind of quickly go over. Which one do you
Yeah.
want to do?
I guess we'll do Fissure first, and then we'll separate out the last one.
Fissure's cool. It's a blue block 3 because of course it is. Guardian
It's
action.
nifty.
Go
It doesn't
again.
cost 3.
Oh, blocks 3. Cost X plus 1.
Yes.
Destroy an aura with cost X or less. Then you may destroy a seismic surge you control. If you do, repeat this process. Wait. Then
So you get it once for sure, and then it
wait.
repeats for each seismic surge you have.
Okay. I I knew that, and then when I read it out loud, I couldn't quite get it back in my head that I
Yep.
can also choose to repeat destroying a seismic surge.
Yep.
Okay. So, all right. Scared
Which
myself.
like getting to repeat it for just a seismic surge in terms of resource cost is not that high. It's actually very reasonable.
There's a really
The
bad play you can make where you can go seismic stirring into
yeah,
this and destroy
just blow up a
5
board.
auras or something like
5
that.
yeah,
Yeah,
4
that with tectonic plating.
yeah. So like you can wipe a board with this. It costs a lot
Yeah.
and it takes a lot and you're
Yeah.
not hitting them.
Yeah.
Um
Do have go again.
it does have go again.
Like
Okay.
you could choose X equals 0. You can make a seismic surge, play this, X equals 0, destroy 2 green chance, swing Anathos.
Sure.
It's a thing.
It's a 3-card 8.
That might be fine in later parts of the game.
Maybe. It's fine.
It's
I
fine.
don't We need to see better seismic surge support than we've seen because so far everything is super um
Card age standard for a blue
super
card.
inefficient. Guardian just needs like a hero that says for each seismic surge token that's broken that broke at the start of your action phase, um, your first attack gets plus X or plus one for each seismic surge.
Valda 2.0. That sounds like Valda
Pretty much.
2.0.
Yeah. I mean, we're getting adult Valda in Mastery Pack.
Bless.
So,
I need to
and
be.
she's been a seismic surge tokens matters
Yeah.
hero
Yeah.
before.
I
So I wouldn't be surprised if they were getting ready for that.
I need to start thinking more about what adult Valda looks like, plays like. Not that like it matters anytime soon, because it's like what, Q3 next year? But
Yeah.
like it is something I need to think about a bit more, so I'm mentally prepared when it comes up. Card's
Yeah.
fine. I like it. I'm gonna get 3 just to
Yeah.
have for when I need it. And
Sure.
then there's the coolest, most interesting thing that I did not think was gonna show up in the set if I was to bet, which is a good warrior blue card.
This might be like the best warrior blue that they have,
Okay, so
and it's still relative.
uh blocks 3, 1 cost. Well, it's
Yep.
always relative. It's warrior. Everything has to be relative. It can't be
Yeah.
straight up value. Block 3, pitch 3, cost 1, reaction. Uh, if you're attacking with a weapon, this chain link, the defending hero reveals a card from their hand, a card. If it's an action card, add it to this chain link defending as a defending card. Otherwise, they discard it. So either steal a card or make them block, which
No
is
matter no matter what, you take a card from them.
disruption and warrior.
Yes. So like here's the thing. If they've already said no blocks on whatever you're doing, like are you gonna play this and like they still get value on it?
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
They also get to choose the card.
Yeah.
So like it's not succumb where you get to look at their hand and then pick the card that screws them the most. Um
The kind.
it's they get to
Yeah.
choose the card.
The way they
And if they're
work.
choosing just like discard, like this is really good in warrior mirrors where they just have to discard an attack
Mhm.
react probably. And that's really funny.
I. I mean, it could also be relevant into like other classes, like assassin, that has a lot of attack actions. Or, well, I
Yeah.
mean, they'll have actions, but like they might not want to block with the action because
Yeah, they need an
they
attack
need
to
an
play their
attack.
attack react on.
Yeah. Um. I don't know. It's
Like
it's it's pretty neat. It asks interesting questions into certain decks.
it's neat. It's an interesting card. The best play pattern is going to be they block 6 on your Dawnblade for 3 that has go again off glistening and then you play this and you take another card and then you like twinning and then Dawnblade comes in for 3 again and they have 1 card in their hand to cover it up and
Good late
the
game play, like second cycle.
yeah. No,
It's
it's a
awesome.
great late game play, and that's why it's like a blue that just cycles around very naturally for it. Like
It's
it's
kind of
pretty.
great.
It is a very well designed card, and you're going to see good warrior players use it pretty well.
Mhm.
And it doesn't like super fix warriors' problems, but it's also like it is a card you should expect to see 3 of,
The way that they just
especially in
yeah,
Dory.
the way they described the in the text, the way it talks about how it disrupts the opponent, like where the opponent chooses the card, it has to be a specific thing or it's discarded. What all that stuff. It reminds me of Shield Bash in Guardian, where it's like Guardian can
Sure,
deal damage in defense reactions, or they can discard a card. It's like we're so close to
sure,
doing something outside of their color
yeah,
identity, so to say,
sure,
outside of their class identity, but like
yeah,
they put that last restriction on there so it doesn't.
yeah.
Which
I think
yeah,
if
which
if warrior gets good after this set, it is not because of this card. This is an
mhm.
incidental thing.
Which I also kind
They
of felt
need
like
something else going on.
they did that stretching the class identity with chain reaction, playing non-attacks as though they're an instant is very much a Rune Blade thing. And now there
Sure,
is a card in Ranger that allows them to do that.
sure.
kills me how
I think it's
ranges.
just like
Yeah,
chain reaction is just like very flavorfully named because it's like you do this, but then you get to play plan for the worst, which gets you another trap, which plays and you can then just play because it's a chain reaction of this one triggered, so you get to do all of this.
it's actually kind of cool.
Yeah,
Um,
it's neat. Provoke's going to be a good card. You're going to see it in every warrior except Bolton, unless he's on Great Axe. If it's Great Axe Bolton, he'll have it with Tunic and just ruin your day.
yeah. Well, we did it. We talked a lot about spoilers after saying we'd talk a little about spoilers. So let's talk about more spoilers. We have a caller. Do you want to go get him?
Sure.
This is a great time for me to say thank you to all the people in chat. There was a couple of people. We had Jonathan and Madagon and TCG Talk. I don't know. Good to talk to people. And TCG Talk we talked about. He said earlier that when Adult Vault comes out in the Mastery Pack, it'll all come together. I kind of agree with that. I think Seismic Surge Matters deck will be a thing, but I think it'll be like not broken. Like people won't be fully convinced on doing it because it won't be broken out the gate, right? Like some heroes you see things and they're just like naturally doing the thing. Um and I think when Seismic Surge Matters Guardian comes out, it's gonna be like I'm trying to think. It's gonna be like when we see Frick. I guess Jarl, where you're just like, I thought I'd do more, but it is doing something. You know what I mean? That's what I think Seismic
Yeah.
Surge Guardian's gonna look like. It's gonna be like, well, now I played this in the Pro Tour immediately. And I think actually it'll be something more like um it seems pretty cool, I guess. And some people are
Mhm.
gonna love it. Uh so we have a caller here. Caller, what's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Dylan, otherwise known as TC Talk, and I'm coming from close to y'all, Northern Virginia. So yeah,
Oh my gosh.
yeah, I know,
Well, I guess
somewhat close to
I
y'all.
was gonna say close is relative because Kevin and I don't live
But y'all
in
live?
the same neighborhood anymore.
Okay.
Neck of the woods city.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, he lives on one corner of the state and I live on the other. And it seems like of our triangle shaped state, you live in the last corner, which is kind of cool.
Yep.
Which on my metagraph, that makes me the aggro, the value deck,
Okay.
and it makes anyways.
I'm the Chad in the middle that's smiling. No, I'm just kidding.
so what's your what would you like to talk about on the show?
Oh yeah, I know y'all want to talk about Arachne Marionette or
Yes.
just the spoilers in general. And I guess the one thing I wanted to bring up first, y'all kind of talked about how Mark has to be consistent. Like if you cannot consistently mark a hero, there's no point in really playing the hero, and that's kind of a bold take, but just you have to be able to mark because the whole when Marionette was first shown, it seemed like to me it was like the ultimate lose assassin, where it's like, okay, do I let this mark hit and give them +1 go again, which sucks, especially if you're banishing a card off top of my deck, or do I not let this mark hit and now you transform into something else? And then once we started seeing the Demis, like you knew all the Demis had to have a relative good power level because why would you ever want to transform if they're all kind of niche and crappy?
Yep.
So I do think Mark will be consistent. My biggest, I guess, take is I think there will either be a dagger that will mark on hit with no piercing,
Oh
similar to
my
Mistblade.
gosh.
So Beckoning Mistblade, it's like a 2-for-1
Oh
on hit,
yeah.
mark your opponent. Or we will get some type of flick knives like attack reaction equipment that is evergreen that doesn't break. That says
Mhm.
like, pay a silver because silver's going to be in the set from what we're seeing. Well, that's a kind of a weird take. I think silver's going to be in the set
Mm.
based off the reward you get for unlocking the whatever spoiler page. Maybe like break a silver, mark, if this attack hits, mark hero or whatever the heck. Maybe upon resolutions, maybe you finish your mark and you can actually get a mark back or something. There's got to be some way where you can mark in the natural equipment suite or a weapon suite. It can't just be cards because unless they give us assassin cards that mark, because so far the only mark card we've seen is a draconic one. So,
Yep.
yeah, I do think there will be a dagger or reaction based equipment that will let you mark on hit, which then puts Arachne Marionette, in my opinion. This is kind of the wild content creator take is like it immediately puts them as like the best assassin because now you have such a lose-lose situation. Like even like a card that doesn't really mean a whole lot, like infiltrate. Telling someone that infiltrates now is 0 for 4 on hit go again, or
Huge.
or you give me or say okay you don't want that 0-4 to hit. Now you're letting me because I'm assuming now after seeing 4 of them, every single assassin or every single demi is going to have a +3 mechanic. So now you're telling me like all of my 0 for 3 crappy stealth attacks are now 2 card 6s on hit do something to you. Like that sucks. The consistency that hero will have from a just a value game perspective, like all of my 2 card hands are 6 power banishes. That's and I mean you probably noticed it, they're not stealth. The +3 is not stealth dependent. So I can throw a surgical at you
Yes.
and my surgical is coming for 7.
Oh.
So like it's just I think if we get a way to mark this hero consistently, this hero is gonna be a problem. Obviously, illusionist is still a class, but this hero is gonna be really annoying.
So
I want to say my opinion on how marked works or how I expect marked to work is kind of like how how it feels when you're playing assassin and you're trying to get your you're playing contract assassin and you're trying to get your equipment to loop. Where it's like if you're the aggressor and you're getting to do what you want to do because you're in control, you just get value from being in charge. You just get to do the thing on repeat. They're not getting what they want. However, if you get put on the back foot, you can't do all the stuff. You can't do all the looping of equipment as consistently. Like sometimes you see games where it's like Azalea or a Guardian against a assassin, and they get CC'd out of using their equipment on loop, and then it feels like they never activated their boots. They activated their headpiece once, and then they never got enough silver to play their cards again because they're on the back foot the whole game. And I feel like Marked is going to have a similar mechanic feel, where if you can loop marks, the game is going to be like you're going to be living it. But if you can't loop marks, like if they slow you down for any reason, it's going to suck.
Yeah, I can see that. What do you think, Kevin? I don't want to take up all the air.
So like it is definitely like ending up that kind of like lose-lose thing. I wouldn't be surprised if there was some way to mark on equipment for everyone. Just because like mark for an entire card, the way Draconic has it, is very inefficient. And it's like you're trading the mark if it's the same for Chaos, which it's possible it's just Chaos has it, or it's possible Assassin has it. My guess would be Assassin, considering Defang and Extinguish are both generic Assassin, and they care about marked. So it would probably be It's interesting that it would just be Assassin to mirror the Draconic
I could see something
mark.
I could see something like Assassin Warrior Common Arms Piece, which is destroy this, mark a hero. Or even just like generic.
I don't think it would be generic. It would be within these like 2 archetypes. So there would be a Draconic one and there'd be an Assassin one, would be my guess.
Well,
but if you're marking at the cost of an entire card, you have to recoup that mark cost in these demi heroes.
Yeah.
Because currently Draconic is marking is an entire card, and you maybe get a resource back. Which like I don't know if that's I don't know how efficient that's going to be in terms of play lines. We still need to see the weapons for all of these heroes.
Yeah.
But like if mark is an entire card, it makes sense then that all these demi heroes are like +3 and then also an effect. So like the banish arsenal or banish from hand, the go again, which by the way, the go again on redback is not on hit. It is just it has go again.
Yeah, it just has
which is
go again.
insane.
Which is great. And then tarantulas like lose 1 health if you then get to like throw that react is only on daggers?
Yeah, but that tarantula is my favorite one so far.
Wait, the reactions on daggers?
The tarantula one.
The +3 is on
your
your daggers.
3 are any assassin attack.
Well, it's just
and tarantula is just you buff your daggers.
Yeah.
target dagger attack gets +3.
And then you deal additional damage if it hits. So basically,
So it'd be 4, 5.
this isn't super crazy, but like at low digit life totals, Tarantula is the most annoying card in the world because now I can do a 2-card 8 with just my daggers with flick knives, or 2-card 7 because my
yes.
because if you discard a card, your dagger's not coming in for 4. Let's just say it hits because they're dumb and they don't block you. Now it's going to hit for 5, and then
On
you
hit
can
a 6.
Yeah, it's or 4 on hit a 5th, and then
Or on hit a 5th.
Yeah, and then you flick knives the other dagger because you can flick knives the dagger while attacking with a dagger, and now all of a sudden you have a 2-card 7 without even using an attack.
Now that I've had y'all
with reactions
read all these words to me word for word like a 5-year-old, this sounds Tarantula sounds better. Like I thought it was gonna feel like some you're more excited and less excited about. I feel like it's going to be more, now that I know this, my opinion is it's going to be you want certain ones at certain times in the game.
Yes.
But all
of them are fine.
Yeah, all of them are fine.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's even better. That feels much better.
Yeah. Tarantula is the one that like closes games. Black Widow and Funnel Web are your like disruptive ones. Redback is like an aggro kind of one. And it's also like, going into your turn cycle and into your blocks which one of these you have.
Mm-hmm.
So you get to play your turn accordingly.
Oh, yeah, you get it.
Because
into your blocks, yeah.
You flip you roll into these at the beginning of your end phase. Which also like if you just get turn 0 as Arachne and you just mark them and pass, you also get to choose your arsenal based on which one you roll.
Yep.
Start of end phase.
Start of end phase you roll for which one it is, and then you're gonna arsenal.
Then you arsenal.
Yep.
Ooh, going first or second is gonna be really interesting in this draft format.
Yes.
That's cool.
Because like life totals are going to be super, super important. These seem like relatively aggro decks, considering this Arachne just has go again, like on hit go again on his stuff now.
Mm-hmm.
And then like we have 2 Draconic heroes. They're about go again and go wide. We've seen cards for both of them that care about number of Draconic chain links, like Syndra's text.
You know what's kind of funny is like, so in the last Draconic Ninja set we had. It was like, if Fi goes second, okay, we can go to the next game because Fi won, they went second. But then also, like, this Arachne really wants to go first.
But he's also okay with going second.
He is also okay with going second.
Because here's the thing. That mark card that Draconic has is an instant.
Oh.
So they'll probably have instants, I'm assuming.
So if the Assassin one is an instant and they're going second, they're like, I'll mark you and I'll block 3 cards when you try and hit me.
Oh.
But you're marked going into my turn, and I have 4 cards to hit you with.
Ooh.
And this is also grasping at comparisons that may not be relevant, but it's just how it is. So like in Power at the Misfill, on a normal scale, barring like a different style deck, each hero cares about transcending at a different level, right? Zen wants to do it 8 times a game.
Yep.
Nigma wants to do it like probably the least amount, and then News somewhere in the middle, right? If I'm correct on that. And I think this is set's going to be the same. Whereas like Syndra wants to do it a middle amount because she creates a fealty token, and you're probably going to want to use that on like the the ninja cards that give you
generic ninja cards.
Yeah, if they become draconic, then Fang is probably going to want to. They're probably going to want to do it. I don't know. Fang's weird. Fang, it all depends on what weapon they give them. But Fang, like if you has a 1-cost weapon, just saying, all right, I don't have any non-draconic warrior cards, or I don't care about giving cards draconic. I just want my saber or my daggers to be free the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and so how much does Arachne care about it? So marked might be a really consistent mechanic. It's just each hero cares about the least. In my opinion, on face value, it seems like Arachne cares the most. Like you are going to want to be marking every single turn. Syndra's going to be marking in somewhere in the middle, and then Fang is just going to want to get to their 3, at least on face, and then call it a day.
Yeah.
So, but we'll see. But it all
like Fang wants to hit his threshold, and then he will just chill there as long as he can. And then Syndra's like, it's fine. I just need it depending on what deck exactly I've drafted or I have in sealed. Because she could have a bunch of innate Draconic Ninja stuff and not care about marked or fealty. Or she could have like some high synergy pieces where she's like, I need a couple fealty to make this deck work. But like Arachne needs it to get above rate.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to see, like, still this entire set is like, we need to know how marked works. We need not how it works. We need to see how people mark other heroes.
And then
Mhm.
solitary confinement is just going to be like the like stable hero.
It was just
If he's in the set,
yeah,
If
I think
he's
it's
in
just
the
a
set.
glue piece for the kit so people can.
he's
wear it.
like your baseline assassin,
Mhm.
which would be weird because he's not chaos.
Which is okay. So that leads to the whole thing, right? So we don't know Arachnia's solitary confinement's in the set yet. The
Right.
adult hero we've seen shows almost everything the same except for he is,
It's chaos, and his
chaos,
effect is symmetric.
CC health. His effect is symmetrical, but other than that, it's actually wildly similar. Makes you think
Yeah.
about it, and so you got to wonder: one, would they make another Blitz hero that's basically Arachne solitary confinement, but it has chaos? Because then what does that mean for Arachne solitary confinement and Blitz and all those other formats? Like, is he just basically a
But
dead
also,
card?
what does he look like in this draft format?
Yeah.
Where he can't play the chaos stuff.
Is there a
Yeah,
chance we get a draft only hero?
I don't
This
know. Yeah,
hero
draft
is
is the weirdest question mark to me because you have 2 draconic heroes that you can now bleed, right? Like you can stay open. But if
Yeah.
you want to go assassin, like you are going assassin. Like that's all you can do.
Yeah.
Like there's no 2 chaos heroes, at least not that we know of. And
Well,
I don't know.
it's also like there's only one ninja, there's only one warrior.
Yeah.
Those 2 lanes don't overlap
well. I
with
mean, we
anything
have
else.
seen.
Like it overlaps in draconic, but like if you take ninja cards, you're just locked into Syndra currently.
You know what we're forgetting is what is the okay. So one we talked about earlier about how assassin has a like class trait. What did I call it earlier? Like when I was talking about how provoke kind of is bleeding into other things or whatever.
Oh, where it's like it was not provoke, it was chain reaction,
Yeah. So
where like they're playing non-attacks as instants.
yeah. So classes have identities, and one of Assassin's class identities we already talked about, which is putting your opponents in lose-lose situations. Kind of like I feel like that's
Sort of,
actually
yeah.
pretty consistent across the class. Another thing that is very Assassin is dual class cards.
Yeah.
We could have warrior assassin cards in this deck. We could have
Ninjas,
ninja
ninja
assassin.
assassin.
Ninja assassin's already a thing, right?
Yeah.
But if we get warrior assassin cards, then that's the way that we could build a meta
Yeah.
square or no, a draft
The
archetype
draft
square, whatever.
shape.
Draft shape square
Yeah.
word.
Yeah. I mean I assume there has to be dual class cards.
Warrior
here?
assassin is not that far of a stretch either.
So yeah,
It's
so
not.
I don't know if you know who Juha is. Juha, I hope I'm pronouncing his
Yuha?
name.
Yeah.
Yuha,
Oh,
sorry.
Yuha.
I'm so sorry. Yeah,
No,
Yuha.
you're good.
He put out a tweet. I've never spoke to him in person, so I wasn't sure how you pronounce it. He does a really good job at like
Yep.
breaking down the cards and what is what. And he said between the last draconic card and the second to last generic, there are 76 card slots. And he's saying that's too many to be generic. So what is it? He thinks it's
Yep.
assassin hybrids or hybrid cards because there's 76
Yep.
slots in this set right now that just are like unaccounted for. So
Yeah. I wouldn't at all be surprised. I would almost assume that there's going to be hybrid cards. Just because like they've had some overlap in every set since Outsiders. Like every draft set since Outsiders has had some number of cards that are playable by more than one hero.
mhm.
Which like Outsiders just straight up had dual class cards. Bright Lights was just all Mechanologist.
Mm-hmm.
Heavy Hitters had dual class cards. Mistveil had all of Mystic in it.
Yeah.
Then we had Rosetta, which every common was playable by at least 2 heroes because they had Earth and Lightning, which shared 2 heroes, and then Runeblade and Wizard, which shared 2 heroes. And then there were no commons that were Elemental Runeblade or that were Lightning Runeblade or were Earth Runeblade. It was all entirely shared, at least in to some degree, in common. And I would be very surprised if they didn't do some sort of hybrid
I bet
card setup.
$0 and 0 stakes that we are getting a warrior assassin common
Card pool.
line. Like we're gonna get that's gonna be a card pool.
Yeah.
Especially if
gonna
it's a
be
lot of dagger
you know what
focused.
you know what the
Yeah,
problem
because
is?
they all of their weapons are the same type.
Probably,
Mhm.
yeah.
So it's very easy for them to do that.
Here's the problem with all of this is when I sort my bulk. In Welcome to Wraith, there is 5 piles, 1 for each class and 1 for common. And for Rosetta, I think there's like 20 piles because there's so many different. I sort them by set and then I sort them by class, or at least what class and talent it says at the bottom. And there's so many different combinations in Rosetta, right? There's Wizard.
Yeah.
Wizard, Runeblade, Earth Lightning, and then each of the like Wizard Earth, Wizard Lightning, Runeblade Lightning,
All the
Runeblade
meld
Earth,
cards,
all the meld cards, which
are like only there's like 3 for each of those.
Yeah,
I know, but like I have a
Aria's
system.
notoriously
I have a system.
Just make that 4
Right.
piles.
I don't know.
Those are all like exactly Earth Wizard. There's 3 cards that are Earth Wizard. And then there's 3 cards that are Lightning Wizard. And there's 3 cards that are Lightning Runeblade.
They all have
3
their own
cards.
slot in the box because I might suffer from some kind of organizational disability. So
Yeah,
I hope they think about me with this next set. Outsiders, the box has so many tabs in it because you got
then you have 2 different dual
Yeah.
class, then you have generic, then
and this set will it probably will have dual class cards and then it'll also have talent cards
and generic and yeah.
generic. Yeah, we have seen
chaos
generic.
and draconic. It might have royal.
Might have royal.
Nah, it won't.
We better get mono royal cards. All our royal fans out there.
We won't. Not. I don't. It's so hard for them to do royal cards when Crown of Dominion exists. They've already made it weird.
True.
And
Regicide.
Yeah, because royal's basically generic if you think about it. Like all you gotta do is put the headpiece on and now.
That's like saying merchant's generic. Or Bard. Well, not Bard. I guess Bard has cards.
No, they are.
They are until they get support and CC. I tell you.
Hate it.
Yeah.
Was there more about the hero we wanted to talk about?
No, not too much. I just think the daggers is kind of the biggest thing. How quickly can you mark? I do think Assassin's going to, in limited and CC, going to mark every single turn because if not, without a mark, that Arachne is literally a textless stealth-based assassin. There's 0 point in playing the hero. So you have to be able to mark pretty much every single turn. If you don't, the hero has no text box.
He doesn't even care about stealth without marked.
Yeah, exactly. It literally is a textless assassin without marks. So I would be very surprised if you are not marking every single turn or threatening a mark every single turn.
Yes.
So that's just that was my main point.
I would bet it's a mix 50-50 of threaten and just have it. Like I wouldn't be surprised if we got a draconic card that was some sort of retribution themed card where on hit it marked. Because we have, what is it? Something vengeance. Proclaim vengeance is their instant mark a hero if it's Arachne gain a resource. Like that's like it. I think there's going to be a guaranteed way to do it, and I think there's going to be an on-hit way to do it, where it's like, oh, they blocked out the on-hit. I'll just give it to them anyways. Deal with it, because like this is. It's so crucial to like all of this set. Is the marked mechanic.
So I have 2 more questions for Mr. Talk. What's your thought on Lalo? Are we getting a red one?
Lalo?
Lalo.
Wait, what am I missing?
It is a
generic D-React.
New generic D-React they announced.
Oh, that card is funny. If you're marked, you can't play this.
That is funny. That part's funny.
I mean, what would the red and blue cycle be? Would you just
block
get
4?
Block 4.
Ooh, actually, yeah, it would be block 4 because if there was a blue, it wouldn't be like it'd be -0 attack or something, and red is -2.
It would be really.
Is this card bigger, Bree? Go ahead.
I'll say I think this card's very bad. Maybe this is a limited card where marking's like 50-50. But like, I would never want to have this card in my deck.
No.
You draw
I guess yeah.
You're just in trouble.
I'm only thinking about it from limited.
Oh, limited. Yeah, no, it's really cool. I mean, you think about unlimited part of the misfail. I mean, you don't transcend a whole lot. It's like what, once or twice a game, 2 or 3 times a game, maybe. Depends. I mean, Zen's a little bit
Yeah.
more, but like it's very less. So this card unlimited is pretty cool. I don't know if they'll run a cycle of it. I mean, a 0 for
Nope.
5 essentially at red would be pretty nutty. Like this, it makes this card above rate when you're not marked, right?
Yeah.
Or potentially. So yeah, you'd be super above rate at red.
Actually, you might run the red in constructed, just because
Yeah.
you're planning on marking them anyways.
Yeah, and you're almost never marked, and you just side out when you
Yeah.
don't need to. Yeah.
One more question was,
But like, if marking
go ahead.
also takes an entire card, then is this a 2-card 5 at red?
Yeah, true. Then it becomes
Like, you have to be
Basically,
getting that
right.
mark value on both sides. Because
Yeah.
also, this is a D-react. So if you're Arachne and you're marking somebody for your stealth attack to have go again, or on hit go again and +1, and that consumes the mark, and then you're just sitting there like with this card, like, are you marking them on their turn when they're attacking you? And then they get to play their hand accordingly because you've marked them. Like, I don't know that this is flat out above rate. It still comes down to like, how do you mark stuff? Because also, like, if you are marked and you draw this, like, you're just miserable.
what if we don't find out because of the way they're releasing spoilers?
Oh yeah, you're
this
not getting
go
anything
around?
for a month.
We might not get it
What, like
until
we don't know how marking works until day of world premiere, and then everyone's like, "What? This
We're-
is how...
we're gonna get that the day we get whatever their sealed primer is.
Yeah,
Okay.
which should be this weekend.
I
This
would
weekend?
I would be amazed if we did not get it at the same time as that.
It's in this section. It's in the same section as all the spoilers are doing right now.
Okay.
And then the next section is the January one. So I could be wrong, but I would
When's this tech coming out?
assume you will see a FABTCG video this weekend.
Premiere is like 14th, 17th of
Yeah.
January range.
I'm gonna
and
say
release
it's
is
a
like the
month out.
31st.
It's like less than a month.
Pretty much.
It's right
Just
about
under.
it's like 4 weeks, I think.
Wow. For some
this
reason, I
weekend.
thought it was later in the month. Holy frick.
Well, release is 2 weeks after that,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
is like
yeah.
the 31st.
But it's coming up.
It'll once we get past the holidays, it'll be right there
It'll be right there.
waiting for us.
I
That's
think
exciting.
Draconic. I think Draconic is gonna have to expend a card to mark because you can't let Fang mark with equipment. That's just gonna be broken as crap because he'll probably have his
Probably.
3 in like 2, at least on face. It looks like that. Whereas Assassin, I think, is gonna have some type of equipment or weapon based. I think that's how it's gonna work.
If it's on a dagger that's a 2 cost for 1, I could definitely see that being a thing. Because also then, like, if you just have like 1 block equipment in limited for everyone, because that's like their standard, and you're just like, I can just block like the first like 3 daggers they send with equipment to prevent marks, but then Assassin has to attack react the dagger over a piece of equipment.
Yeah,
That seems very flavorful.
yeah, it does. I agree.
I
So-
have a question for either one of you or both of you. Are we going to see in this next set a contract card in the rare or common slot? A card with contract.
I mean, we already
We have it.
Well, I mean,
I
like,
assume,
I'm
I
sorry.
assume you mean not directed a
Yeah.
generic contract that's not directed at Fang or Syndra.
Yeah. Like, basically what I'm trying to say is for contract Arachne support. Not directly, but
I
it would be
wouldn't
like in
be
the set.
surprised if we saw like more of the like kind of generic mix ones where it's like it's a 0 for 3 that looks for attack actions or that looks for reacts. Because so all the contract ones that exist are 0 for 4 or 1 for 5.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if we saw 0 for 3 versions of those
With upside, or they're just
that are
like
also stealth.
contract stealth?
Yes, contract stealth.
Bird will be pissed.
Yeah, I think we're
No,
yeah.
he'd be fine with it, I think.
You never
I think
know.
we're gonna get contract stealth because I remember when I did the interview with Brian on
Mhm.
my stuff, he was talking heavily about how stealth was like the way forward with Assassin, but he sounded really upset about it. He's like, I want Arachne Huntsman to like be relevant because that's like
Yeah.
his baby. But it was an old design concept, but his words were something along the lines of they want to find a way to incorporate it. And they also like this is a really minutia thing, but if Silver's in the set, I would be very I would think that they would want to make Payday playable because that card has never been playable, and they want to make that card playable. And the easiest way to make it playable is make stealth have go again, but have the word contract on the card. It doesn't contract. It literally could say nothing. It could just say stealth, and then put contract below it, and that's fine. Now you all of a sudden
You are
Arachne
contracted to banish cards.
yeah, and now all of a sudden you have a 0 for 4 on hit go again with Arachne Marionette, and then you can play Payday after that, make 4 silver,
Yeah.
and now you're actually like getting value. So I do think they're gonna. To answer your direct question, yes, I do think we will see other contract cards. I agree with Kevin. I think they will have stealth on them. How specific they are, I don't know. I think they're just trying to make ways for you to marry some contract cards in your deck. So, and if Arachne Huntsman and Solitary Confinement's in the Blitz deck box, then they're gonna probably do that. So
He's not.
oh, he's not. You're right. It's
It's
Solitary
OG
Confinement.
Arachne.
Oh yeah, so they have to put some contract. I feel
It's
like in this
contract
set.
Arachne.
Yeah, so they have
Yeah.
to put some contract in this
Wait,
set.
what?
Otherwise,
Wait,
Huntsman
what?
is
We have the
just,
fourth
like,
Blitz deck.
useless.
I didn't
Yeah,
know that.
it's Huntsman. I totally forgot about that.
So it's a Arachne Web of Deceit, the new one. It's Marionette Young,
Yeah.
and it's OG Arachne from Dynasty.
Does
as
he-
the fourth Blitz deck box.
Are we getting reprints? Like, is it just going to be from that? Is the Blitz precon probably going to be set constructed, or do you think it will have reprints from other sets?
I assume it would have some reprints of stuff like Plunder the Poor,
Sure.
like
Yeah,
the 0
that's
for
a good
4
idea.
contracts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would also guess that it is heavily. It would lean pretty significantly on this set as well, considering it's part of the Blitz deck collection.
Mm-hmm.
But for OG Arachne, there's going to be some number of Dynasty cards. They're not going to reprint Leave No Witnesses.
Yeah.
But they'll put Annihilate the Armed. They'll put Plunder the Poor. They'll put some of the other 0 for 4s probably. Maybe
Plunder
some of the
Run.
Scholars.
I'm just
Sorry, what?
Plunder the Run. Maybe the best contract card.
Which also, like, they've already, with the 2 stealth contract cards we have, it's you are contracted to hit a marked hero named Fang or Syndra.
Yeah, they're limited
So
focus for sure.
Those are limited focus, but they're also showing us that they're willing to bend what contract means.
Yeah, exactly.
Because contract so far has been banish red cards, banish blue cards, banish attack actions, banish 1 cost or less, and it's all been banish.
Yeah.
And these are like just they're doing a different thing. You are contracted to do a different thing. So they could change what contract looks like.
Yeah.
And Arachne Huntsman still gets benefit from that.
Yeah, and as I'm sitting here, gosh, I lose my voice. As I'm sitting here, shuffling
As you
cards
stand here,
aimlessly.
losing your voice.
Yeah, they're gonna have to make a way for Course of Tendency to be still playable. Like that is like the
Yes.
marquee power card in Arachne, and that card cares
Oh,
about
yeah.
contracts.
Yeah,
So-
it's
Oh my gosh,
that's
they
like-
all say Arachne. They're all
Yes.
called Arachne.
Yeah, all the
They're
Arachne
all
say
Arachne
Course of
tendencies.
Tendency. Yeah.
Oh my
So-
gosh.
yeah, that has to be a playable card. And by the way, that's going to be an insane card
Oh,
potentially.
gosh.
That card is nuts.
Getting to talk to an actual killer right now
No.
in this call has helped open up my eyes about certain cards and how they interact with things.
I didn't know Kevin was a Stone Cold Killer.
Oh,
but-
I was talking about you, brother.
Yeah,
but
okay.
no, Kevin is a Stone Cold Killer. What, you said you went 8 and 9?
In LL, I went 9-1 in CC.
Oh, okay.
God rest your soul in that
My
format.
gosh. Wait, what season? This past weekend, what were you playing in CC?
New Prism.
No, I mean like what?
Oh, it was just side events.
Oh, okay.
It was the Lightning
makes
Press
more sense.
promo side events.
Oh,
And I was just like, I'm
Ah.
just going to put New Prism back together for CC. And I just like,
Makes sense.
I went 9-1 and I
9-1.
split 4-0 for 2 of them.
Frick. That's awesome. Frick, what were you talking about?
There's
Coercive
Course of Tendency.
tendencies? I don't even
If
know.
they want that card to be playable, like there has to be contract. In the
I've heard
set
the
or a
name of
way
that
to
card,
play
and
it.
I think I have the image of what the art looks like in my head.
Yeah, I have to resolve that card on webcam in the league. That means nothing. It's great. But you look at the top 3 cards of the Fan Heroes deck, put them back in any order, then banish top card of their deck. If you complete a contract this way, your assassin attacks get go again this combat chain. It's a blue
Which
block.
says
It's a
to
blue
me
block
that
3 that
they-
costs nothing.
They need some number of contracts that care about banish.
Yep.
Still, for that to work.
Still are banishing things. Yeah,
Which,
but contract
like,
cards.
I
that
could
care about
see
banish, that
Plunder the
makes-
Poor reprinted in this set.
And I know it's
I
a meme.
assume there's one for Reacts. Nix the Nimble.
Mhm.
Yeah, I know it's a meme, but I guarantee you someone in that dev room wants to make Regicide playable. Because
Is-
Arachne Huntsman's original ability was supposed to be cards in your banish can, if you have the same name as cards in your banish, you cannot block with those cards.
Yeah.
That was supposed to be the OG ability.
What?
Yes, the original
That's
ability was supposed to
insane.
be, according to Brian, if I remember correctly, whatever cards are in your banish, if you have the same name in your hand, you cannot block with those cards. That was supposed to be the OG ability.
Someone without
Yeah.
without being
That's insane.
without
I'll
being
double confirm that, but
without being crass, that's someone's got a hard on for that like concept because they also have that Arachne in art generic card that says you can't block with defense reactions. It's like tendrils
Burdens
of
of
the
the
past.
Past?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Where
they
it's
want to
like-
make. I guarantee someone wants to make Regicide playable, so they're going to care about banish because they want that, especially in a royal set.
Playable?
They want to make Regicide playable. So,
Playable? Is that a bad thing?
I mean,
Regicide being
I
playable?
always put Regicide in
No.
my deck just for memes because if I'm playing Arachne, I'm gonna play it the way I want to.
Sure,
But, yeah.
sure. But I mean, like,
Nah,
you imagine someone resolves a Regicide in like day 2 of an event.
I saw
It has to be-
Lucas
has to hit
Oswald, not
royal.
Lucas, the
Doesn't have
Arachne,
to get royal.
who top A that PTI with Arachne. He resolved Regicide on stream.
Yeah, because that Dromai was a bozo.
Yeah, it was. I was not trying to say anything
They
negative.
played, bro. They speed ran
Careful.
Regicide.
You can look
they
on
had an
Lucas's
any
face.
percent-
Lucas was like, "Oh, okay."
They had like an any percent Regicide speed run challenge because they played Burn Them All, which
Yeah.
says I'm gonna banish cards from my graveyard, and Regicide says I can't block with these cards anymore.
Yep. That was
So
funny.
I'm gonna fill my banish zone for you.
Yeah.
And then
But I hope- yeah.
resolve Regicide, put as many reactions on top of it. They can't block enough.
Well, at that point in the game, he literally couldn't block with anything. Larissa could come.
He couldn't block with any card
That's
from
so
his hand,
funny.
basically. There was like 2 cards in his deck that he could still block with, and I think it was Dominia and Tumultai because they're legendary keyword.
Yeah.
So,
Like that,
Yeah.
you just don't resolve Burn Them All in the matchup and you win.
I originally thought one of the Demi Heroes was going to care about buffing contracts, but after seeing 4 of them, I don't think. I think it's all going to be stealth based.
No.
But there will be some contract support.
Oh
Maybe.
yeah, because those 3 do care about stealth.
Yeah, all 3 care about stealth other than Tarantula. So
Yeah, which cares about
Tarantula.
dagger. So there might be one that cares about contract, or like when you complete a contract, complete it twice or something.
Wait, are any of them 1? Is the lady number 1? Is that her?
Yeah,
Black
we
Widow's
have
number
1,
one, yeah.
2,
I was
4, and
imagining
5.
I was imagining if they just like if you roll a 1, like let's say you roll a d6 to pick it, and the 1 is the like contract one, and it's like you rolled a nat 1, you get the contract one. It doesn't help your game plan at all. You actually just slow rolled the assassin you turn into.
That'd be funny.
That would be funny.
Which like we haven't seen 6, which should be a critical success. So
well, if we don't have critical failure, I don't expect critical.
if we don't have a crit fail, then I think we're fine.
Yeah. So
yeah.
So
it turns out that the 6th one says none of the stuff that the other ones do. It says pick 1 through 5 and put that on the field instead.
Oh yeah, choose an ability for 1 through 5.
Well, that would be cool if you rolled a 6.
be
It's
cool.
like you choose.
Yeah. That would be dope.
That would be dope. What? Okay, hang on. I'm gonna check now. What is number 6? Because it
what's
looks
the
like
name
they
of this figure?
go. Do they go left to right in the way that they were shown in the art?
They almost
first
do go
one
left
is-
to right.
First
Yes.
one's
They
Black
don't
Widow.
quite though.
No,
Second
there's
one's
it's one off.
Tarantula. Or wait,
One off.
number 2 is no. Tarantula's number 5. Funnel Web is number 2. Redback is number.
Oh yeah, Tarantula is all the way over there. So we just haven't seen the last 2.
Redback is 4. So we haven't seen 3 or 6.
Yeah, which is Orb Weaver and Trapdoor.
Yeah, so like in the promo picture they've always done it.
Yeah.
Like they've gone one.
Or good.
Oh,
flavor
it's
for the
been.
beginning.
Oh, it hasn't even been in order of that.
No.
It hasn't, but the last 2 on the right are the 2 that they haven't done. They went out of order
Yeah.
by 1 card, but yeah, it's Orb
No,
Weaver
they're-
and
number 1
Trapdoor.
first, but
I have a
We did
feeling,
get number 1 first, but then I think they
might get number
moved.
6 last, but
I have a
we'll
feeling
see.
what Trapdoor is going to do, but it's going to be fun.
put a trap
I'm
card.
interested to see.
I don't know.
If they could give
Mm.
Assassin Traps, but I would be surprised if they did in this set.
This set
This
doesn't.
wouldn't be the set to do it.
No, I
Yeah,
don't think so.
maybe.
Why
know,
does
warriors
assa-
are-
why does an assassin have any cards with ambush on them?
Ambush would be nice. Traps would be cool too. I
Ambush
think
is
they could do
broken.
traps.
Ambush is fine.
Ambush is broken.
No, it's not.
It's a
It makes a block card a bad D react.
Yeah, make
or
sure.
a great D react.
No, it's a bad D react. You can't play it in reactions.
Yeah, you're
Oh.
you're just trolled by Zen basically. It makes it seem good, but it's really not that great.
Yeah, you're just like, oh man, Zen just gets to block from Arsenal. That's
I guess-
busted. It's like,
I guess
no,
what
it's
I
not.
was thinking of was a block card you can block from with Arsenal with upside, but like we actually have D reacts. We have
Yeah, just do that better.
a very contentious 0-for-4 D react with upside.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
maybe yeah, you're right. I don't know.
they're still just bad D reacts, even though they seem nuts because it's cards you can block with from
Yeah.
Arsenal. But they're just worse D reacts.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking
D-reacts
about. Firewall is broken.
D reacts are broken.
Firewall, if you could block from Arsenal with it, is crap.
yeah, it'd be really good.
But like,
You
it's
don't
just
really
fine.
you don't really ambush people with firewalls.
No, they just run into them.
Yeah.
All right,
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Is there anything
I'm
else?
excited.
Anything else anyone wanted to talk about?
Nothing else. Buy your cold full flick knives and Bonds Agony stonks just went up.
Nope.
that's
I was
late.
about to say too late.
And leave the witnesses is somehow $30. So that's all.
That card's great.
Yep. Card's
Yeah.
nuts.
Card's nuts.
Other than that, nothing else.
Well,
Is
I want
Codex
to.
at 100 yet?
I'm so glad I got those in foil when I did in Dallas.
I'm so glad I didn't.
I pulled a
Glad I just
random
opened them.
Marvel in Scotland of all places, and then I sold it. I wish I wouldn't have.
Codex of Frailty is for lightly played, $81.
Yep.
Oh no, son.
Foil,
Okay,
dip-
Near Mint is
foil,
also $81, but sure.
foil is only $10 difference. You might as well just get foils at that point.
Damn.
No. They haven't come out with the new foiling technique. Don't buy foils. Foils are scam. Until they come out with a new foiling technique, I'm still anti-foil. Actually, even
Oh,
after, I'm still anti.
I wish I could go back in time a year and a half ago and buy like 20 stalagmites, but that's a different conversation.
Ooh.
You'd have made so
Bro,
much
not
money.
even a year and a half ago. Like
6 months
4 months
or
ago.
whatever, yeah.
I traded one for
$15.
$15 value at Rosetta Premiere in Tampa.
No, like almost 100.
They spiked to 90,
Yeah.
and they're
glad
settling
I-
at like 75.
I'm glad I bought into Oldham after he LL'd. That
After
was
he LL'd,
that was
yeah.
the biggest brain move I've ever made. I was
Yeah,
like,
they're
I
at
want this one
97.
day.
That's the
Yeah.
best time to buy into any hero is after
Yeah.
they've LL'd, like
Genius.
exactly like 6 months after, because they
Well,
haven't announced the new version yet.
I think I waited like 6 weeks after, and they were still they everything tanked. But
Yeah.
I could have got it cheaper. But tempted to sell your codex, Armed Pit.
Yeah, you could.
Could
It's not a bad time to.
depends on like if you're like me and you only have one class and you just happen to have a couple of Majestics that are very. I've been getting favorable trades on this. What I thought was Ninja Bulk Majestics. Began very favorable trades with them. Is there anything else anyone wanted to talk about?
I appreciate y'all letting me come on.
No, you know what? I appreciate you.
Mm.
TCG Talk,
You gotta call me
great YouTube
Dylan. You gotta
channel.
call me Dylan, please. Not just kidding. You're good.
Mr. Talk.
We played against each other in a Super Armory. I don't know if you remember that.
I do because I
When you were
played
playing
KO.
You're playing the KO Armory deck.
I played the KO Armory deck and I pulled it out of the box, and my round one opponent was absolutely livid. They were like, "Where are your sleeves? Why don't you have sleeves? Where's your playmat?
And you had
don't have
that
a playmat."
playmat. You had the playmat.
Oh, I had the.
You had
had
the
the
playmat that was
Franken-
stitched
Franken
together.
mat.
Yeah.
They were. I won that game.
Against the person who was
Yeah,
malding. Yeah.
yeah. Frick. Dude, we're gonna have to get you. We're gonna have to gain an extra couple thousand subscribers, start earning money from this channel even more, and then get you to drive down and be on one of our live streams.
It'd be fun.
That would be awesome. But yeah, TCG Talk, Dylan, great YouTube channel, and then also shout out to Az because he's doing the
Yeah, Az is doing
Lead
crazy
Doing
good work.
Nothing, which is super cool.
So
He followed me on Bluesky yesterday.
I've been trying to use that more. I'm slowly converting all the way over, thank goodness, but it's hard to remember.
I got in early, and I think I got in a little lucky because I'm on the like Flesh of Blood list.
Mm.
Or I got on that
People
Flesh of Blood list really early, and I got this wild influx of followers from that. So now, like, whenever I make a Bluesky tweet, it's like the same amount of people I'd get when I was on Twitter are interacting with it, which is super cool. I just post garbage. I think I complained. I made a post where I was complaining about people aren't going to flavorfully take chaos seriously. They're going to put like a bunch of good generics like Pummel, CNC, and Sink Below in their chaos decks, and that's not very chaotic of them.
Just make sure you announce your pummel, that's all.
Announcer Pummel trigger.
Mm-hmm. Don't get too chaotic with it. Yeah, I appreciate you.
No, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming on. We'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Is there anything else you wanted to shout out?
Nothing on, man. This is y'all show.
Yeah, well, we appreciate you.
Yeah,
Thank you for coming on. We'll catch you next time.
See
you next week. Bye. Kevin, do you have anything else?
I think I'm good.
Yeah, you think you're good?
Yeah.
Greg, we're gonna have to catch you next week, which means you're gonna have to be available next week.
Yeah, he's gonna have to show up next week.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to get a guest on eventually in the future.
Sure.
Someday.
Yep.
I'll get on it. Maybe I can delegate that to you. Can I delegate that to you? You get guests on. You're like in with all the pro players, right? And you got favors.
No.
I'm just kidding.
Like, they know my name.
Sure.
When I sit down when I pop up in their gem profile, they're like, "Oh, okay, I know him."
Both me and you are stressed when you go to tier 3, tier 4 events for the same reason, or for different reasons, where you're just like, "Oh, I want to win," and I'm like, "Oh, Kevin needs to win." Get that
some notoriety.
Clout. Yeah, get that notoriety, clout, or whatever.
Yeah.
All right, I guess if that's it, next week I want to do a year in review, probably.
Sure.
LSS made a nice, beautiful list of everything that happened this year, and I kind of want to go through it and be like, maybe talk about like expectations versus reality on a lot of them, like hot takes in hindsight.
Sure.
So, thank you all so much for watching. Saturday, I'm going to be doing the art stream, the design table, with Tommy, Fresh and Buds, because Amy is going to be doing holiday stuff, and that's fine. So I got Tommy on to stream some Talishar while I do art, and it's going to be very chill. Are there events going on? There's no events this coming weekend, right?
I don't think so.
Then I'm competing with no one. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye.